Thank you so much for joining me again on Phenomenal Beauty. So this is my second video after my, I suppose, long hiatus off YouTube. So this is actually going to be my favourites, not just of the last month, but since May. Actually, that's when I gave birth to my second child. Actually, a foundation slash serum that I have been enjoying has been this one. I'll show you the box. And I'm going to say Perricone MD. This is the No Foundation Serum. I believe there's also the No Foundation. But I thought for my skin, as I mentioned, I'll be the big 4-0 next year. And my skin has actually gotten a lot drier as I've gotten older. So I'll just drop it like that. But you need just a couple of pumps. It says 3 to 4. I generally use 5 if I'm just using it by itself. I'm going to use it now. Pay the money and use it. Maybe you can see sort of how close it is to my skin tone. This is another old time favorite, the Sukin facial moisturizer that I went back to. For a lot of the longest time I was using a lot of the samples because some of you know we moved, and that's why I went through trying to get through a lot of samples. But I love this. It's like that Jaffa orange scent to it, but a beautiful moisturizer. You know, one of those ones that have no parabens, no SLS. You know, links down below. I've gone on about the Sukin range before, so I won't go on too much about it. But here's one of the samples that I've been enjoying, and Niobe, Oxygenating Cream Moisturizing. I believe I had a few of these samples, but also I'm sure my friend Shares actually gave me this one, and it has water, of course, at the top. And then it also has aloe, so it's actually got quite a lot of aloe in it as well. Whereas generally with a lot of the other creams, the ingredient they promote, you'll see that near the bottom, but this is actually near the top, and I really love it. It's a very thick cream. I love it, and I generally would put that on before I put my makeup on. And this one I generally use at night at the moment, we have been using. As far as my hand cream, this is the Thank You range, which I picked up at Woolworths, I believe. And it's the Botanical Rosehip and Sweet Orange Hand Cream. Again, no SLS and all that, but this smells beautiful. There's skipping over to Powder on Zipf's. The Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. And that I have been loving the medium cocoa. I have mentioned before I love the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzers because they're matte. So these are, the 3 of them are matte. But this is actually much cooler. This is more of your cool in comparison to my light medium Chocolate Soleil powder, which I love. I use that for contouring and bronzing, and I've been enjoying this one for contouring rather than bronzing. So it's more of that shadow. I also love this one. This is the dark, sorry, that's the medium. This is the dark cocoa. I also use this around the eyes for the crease. This is actually a little bit warmer than the light medium. And then you've got the light cocoa, which is of course very, very light. So I've been using this like a flat highlight. When I say flat, I mean like matte eye area as well. And I've actually been enjoying the brush. There's very few times I enjoy a brush in a palette, and I have been enjoying this because it's got that lovely curve to it. Slant, should I say. But before the move, I purged a lot of my makeup. So I went heavily through a lot of my lipsticks and glosses particularly, because a lot of them I just felt like I was just holding them onto them, as I think a lot of us do, just sort of make a collection look bigger and better. And especially the packaging on some of them, like my Lipstick Queen, a lot of them just look good, but I've got so many to use. But I've actually been using a lot of my Lipstick Queen to try and get through them. So this is the Saint Natural, and I mean, I did a whole video dedicated to them back in my more glamorous day. I love it. It's a very sort of more pinky rose colour, but it is sheer, and I find very moisturising. And even this one, I went through a lot and threw out a lot of my old sort of glosses and pencils that were sort of older, or I'd swatched and had just been sitting there. Plus, I gave a lot of the unopened ones away that I felt were still good, that I got in a lot of beauty boxes. This is one of the ones I got in a box, and it's the La Croix & Co. I love this name. Lip Lube. It's a lip lube. It's a proper peachy coral. Look at that. I love this though because I can wear it on its own. It's very creamy, but I also wear it over a lot of my matte lipsticks. I've been going heavily through a lot of my bronzers and a lot of my sort of blushes, and I'm glad to say a lot of them I've either hit pan on, so they'll be in my empties, or I'm close to. This is the Benefit Dandelion, and as you can tell, I've hit the pan, but I'm going to use up every little bit. But I've been really enjoying this one. So it's that like dusty pink that I like, and it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. Oh gosh, I need to clean that brush. I mean, making use of the brush in here as well. Bronzers, for example, and powders. This is the Models Prefer BB cream, the BB pressed powder, light medium. So those will be coming up. So I've been going heavily through, and I've been actually enjoying it. I know a lot of people going about, you know, shopping your stash and using your products, but I only did that very lightly in the past. But as soon as we had to move and we had to downsize quite severely, I had no choice, and I was put in that position where I was thinking, how much do I really need? How much of my collection is generally stuff that I like versus stuff that I like to make it look good? Now, tools, Scholl. Now, I don't know, I didn't look at any reviews. I just saw the ads continuously on TV about these and blah, blah, blah. And I put the names below. So you've got the one for the foot or feet and one for the nails. Now, one's a definite favorite and one's a definite fail. Starting to use this, I've actually been enjoying it because I've been wearing sandals all the way through the pregnancy, and you know, you got to maintain those feet. So I've actually been enjoying it, and post baby too. So this is a favorite. But on the other hand, the nail one, the ads make these look like they're the best thing ever. And like within the first couple of weeks, I've gone through a couple of different batteries because it went flat, ran down so easily, and I don't have thick nails. And I found that I haven't replaced this pad just so I could show you that these, I was going through them quite a lot, so I was getting a better finish, and it took me less time when I was actually using the manual old cheap buffer pad. Whereas this one, I've still got the original one. I do have to buy a replacement for this, so I'm just waiting for it to go on special. Now, something that I have to mention, it's a book, so I guess it's kind of like a... This one, the Rae Morris Makeup Masterclass, is that? Yeah, Makeup Masterclass. And gosh, you could do weights with it as well. In between reading it. Plus, it looks good on the shelf. I won't lie. That's pretty much my collection now, just back there with books. So I've culled a lot out of it. But yeah, it's my friend Cher's actually sent this to me. Since I've gotten it, I've sort of been flicking through it, and she actually got it to me as what's it called? A push present. So you know, post baby present kind of thing. So I've been enjoying it. Thank you, Cher's. But this very nothing gaudy, but it is to do with baby, like post baby. So this is Glamour Pads, but I wanted to mention them on this channel because it's that kind of glamoury thing, and it's something very different. There's a ton of different breast pads on the market, as there are sanitary pads. There's so many different styles and comfortable. Maybe if you find you have sensitive around these areas when you're wearing different bras, or even after you finish breastfeeding. But they're the more glamorous breast pads, and I've never seen anything like this. I didn't see it the first time round. I'm not sure how long these have been around, but let me see. So it's Modern Mum, so it's very savvy sort of marketing. But yeah, they're more glamorous. I'll show you. I saved a couple. You actually get, and I think it's actually pretty good. You get 40 pads for about $8-9. You just think, oh, it's a lot. But when you pair 20 pads of these rough little ones for like $4, it still works out. But this, whereas a standard breast pad, sometimes they're folded, sometimes they're like this, you know. But this is like your standard old sort of one. You get bigger ones, flatter ones, thicker ones. These ones are folded in half, but you get ones that are black on the back or natural to go with your, you know, beige coloured bra. There's also and there's also white. So you get 3 different colours in here. So that's the front, and then that's the back. So depending on if you have that sort of bra, you might sort of put it to the side like that or have it like that. But it gives a little bit of, like they say, glamour to it when you're wearing that. And it's also good because there's so many different shaped maternity bras out there as well. And obviously breasts when you're falling in. So that's sort of it. And like I said, black as well, because sometimes it'll pop up. And instead of having this big, like, bunched up little round white thing, you might have this nice little lacy looking, you know, it looks like lace, but looking frill over your bra. So I thought that was actually quite a nice little touch. I've only seen them at Priceline. I'm sure they're probably at more fancier baby stores I've just been going into, you know, like Big W and Kmart and Target, let's face it. But I have only seen these at Priceline. But yeah, probably my favourite would be, overall, would be probably Johnson & Johnson. That's a little bit pricier for what you get, but they're quite cushiony. They're like little clouds with a little indent in them. That's how I would compare them. Oh, well, like I said, I was nervous about coming back on here, particularly when, I think when you've been gone for a while, same thing when you haven't seen people for a while, you want to come back sort of better than ever, and you're like, ah. But I knew it wasn't going to happen this time around, so, you know, just get out there and just do it. Because everyone has those moments, months, years, when they look back on those photos and go, or videos now with YouTube, and go, oh, what happened? But just going with it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as far as sort of updating where this channel is going, I still want to do favourites, but obviously I won't be doing them every month. I still want to do empties. That will be the next video. All of my talking, I know a lot of people mention that on my old videos particularly, I talk a lot, I know, but if you meet me in person, I don't really. So that's one thing that I'll be working on. So if I do favourites, it'll be every couple of months, but I will try not to talk as much. Also got some tags I need to refilm, because I lost a lot of that footage when I lost 30 gigabytes of data last year. Also teeth, you say? Teeth. I wanted to do, and I generally meant this when people were private messaging me in particular, I wanted to do some teeth updates, and that's because that is one of my most viewed videos. I don't mean for money, I mean because a lot of people seem generally interested in my fillings of all things, and my teeth and all that. I generally wanted to film that. Around that time, especially when I lost my beauty mojo and I got sick, and then I was recovering, and then I found out I was pregnant, my son needed just under $4,000 worth of teeth surgery, and he had to go into a private hospital to get that done, just because of his sensory issues and all that. And then pretty much anything I needed, or getting myself checked and filmed and all that, was pretty much irrelevant. And also my husband, he refused to film it. He couldn't see the logic in filming something like that. I didn't have any friends locally that would want to sort of do that, or family. Got his family, because obviously a lot of my family has passed away or is in New Zealand, but none of them wanted to do that, and that's their personal preference. So a lot of the private things are coming in now. You need to have your photo taken when you go to the medical centre, or as part of the dentist thing as well. She refused to let me film, and that was totally okay. That was her decision. So that's another reason. And I have no new x-rays as well. So pretty much what you saw in that last video, which is a few years ago now, there is nothing really to add anything. So I do apologise. Some people were thinking I really was going to do it at the time. I generally was going to, but a lot of other things happened. But I've still just been using my sensitive toothpaste, because I have sensitive teeth or thin enamel, and I'm using Sensodyne at the moment, which I've been really enjoying. The interdental brushes, I still use that. So really nothing to add, and like I said, no new x-rays. So I just wanted to get that out there as well. So thank you so much for watching. Take care.